Hey folks, welcome back to another Pawn Mass video. I initially wasn't planning on doing this. Not that we don't want to cover this, because this is very important. I think we do have to cover it, but it's just, I don't know, it's just a bad day, unfortunately. Just all this stuff happening. Terrible day. I really wasn't in the mood, but I guess I'll just get this one out there, and I'll probably go to bed, and we'll talk more about any stuff tomorrow. So yeah, the anniversary units, a lot of folks find a bit underwhelming, which I would generally agree to an extent. Like, none of these are like bad units, right? I really like May's kit. I think she's really good, and plus very useful, right? Because we really needed a second psych train setter, all that stuff. Raihan seems relatively interesting as well. Skyla I'm not very high on, unfortunately. Like, she's gonna make obviously flying zone is great for the flying type damage. She's gonna make flying type damage do a lot of damage, all that stuff. But the rest of her kit, I think, kind of sucks, honestly, unfortunately. What else? But yeah, these are relatively underwhelming units, I'd say. If you want to compare them to, like, you want to see like an anniversary level unit, right? Something like, again, Leon, a red, or Sing's a red, or blue leaf. Again, all good units, but folks are running, well, it just seems kind of weird, right? Like, you got 3 poke fairs, no master fairs. We just had a master fair with Cynthia, right? Like, if you compare these units to like the Sinnoh month units, I'd say the Sinnoh month units have the advantage. I think the Sinnoh month units are just straight up better than the anniversary units, right? And it's not because the anniversary units are terrible. They're not terrible, right? Which does lead us to the interesting part. First, number one, it's definitely going to be a part 1, part 2 thing for the anniversary, right? Because for one, the Datamined info only goes up to the 15th of this month, right? So that's only half the month. There's another half of the month left that hasn't been revealed yet, right? And then we also have this very suspicious event, right? Let me find the image. The Sycamore here looking, you know, concerned about something. There's question marks popping up and stuff, and then you have the same banner over here, right? And I do suspect that it has something to do with this event down here called, where is it? A strange specimen, right? And if you actually look up the strange specimen, if you look at the dialogue, again, if you don't want to get spoiled by story stuff, then don't look, I guess. But anyways, Sycamore does talk about, if you look at the dialogue, it says something like, search all over Passio with Professor Sycamore. You search all over Passio's. Together they found a strange specimen. It seems to be alive, but what is it? Based on its cell-like appearance, it could be part of a larger Pokemon. Okay, I'd like to take the sample and examine it even more. How about I call you if I figure something out, then we can Whoa, what's wrong, Xerneas? That's odd. Are you concerned about something? Cell-like appearance, it could be part of a larger Pokemon. That's pretty obvious what it is, right? That's pretty obvious what it is. We're getting Zygarde. We are getting Zygarde for the second half of the anniversary. I would wager it most likely would be a Master Fair, right? Master Fair Zygarde, with who I'm not 100% sure. It could be with Sycamore. It could be Sycamore and Zygarde. It could be Caleb Zygarde, right? Or another Serena Zygarde. Who knows? Lysander Zygarde would be slightly problematic, but you know. But yeah, it does seem like we are definitely getting Zygarde. And that's good for a few reasons. First of all, well, there's one more chance for a very busted Annie unit. Because again, all these units are good for Annie. None of them are busted. None of them are busted at all, right? But that does give us another chance for another busted unit. Also, again, I do think Raihan's a solid unit, but it is slightly unfortunate that Raihan is Dragon type instead of Ground type. And if you look at Zygarde, right, even though it's also Ground Dragon like Flygon, if you look at its movesets, its signature moves, 1,000 Waves, 1,000 Arrows, you know, Lanswrath, whatever, right? They're all Ground type moves. Can it potentially also have like a secondary Dragon type move? Maybe, but I'd say more likely it would have these Ground type moves, which could, I'd say, very likely turn Zygarde into a you know, a Ground type Master Fair, which yeah, I know we already have one ground type Master. We have Groudon, literally, great unit, obviously. But another ground type, another ground type powerful unit would definitely be nice as well, right? So I think that's definitely a possibility. In terms of which percentage it's going to be, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe this could be like a multi-faceted like event where we start out with like, I don't know, 20 or 10%, and then we go to like 50%, and then 100%, or we straight up just get complete form. I mean, personally, I like 50% the most. I don't really like either of 10% complete form. I don't know. I just like snakes. 50% is really, really cool. I personally hope we get 50%, but if we get any of the other ones, it's fine too. I don't really mind. But yeah, this is definitely exciting. That is something to think about, right? And that is slightly interesting how they did this, because even though we know what the anti units are, right? You could definitely decide between the anti units, or the first half of the anti units, and Cynthia, Dialga, Cresselia, Darkrai, all those units. But they hid the like big anti unit behind the second half of this month, so it's really hard to actually decide between the Sinnoh units or Zygarde, right? Obviously, you still have plenty of time deciding between Zygarde and the first half anti units, right? Because they don't go away for a very long time. But yeah, this is definitely an interesting just tidbit, right? So yeah, we will be getting Zygarde. I'd say a solid 80%, right? Obviously, nothing's ever 100%, but I'd say a very, very, very high chance we are getting Zygarde. And yeah, curious to see which form. Obviously, curious to see if it is a Master Fair or not. It could still be a Poke Fair, but like Zygarde just feels like a Master Fair level kind of unit, right? Plus, again, we just haven't had a Master Fair yet, right? And it kind of would mimic last year's 1.5 year anniversary, where we had one Master Fair and 3 Poke Fairs, right? We had Leon Master Fair, and then we had Marnie Poke Fair, Diantha Poke Fair, and Iris Poke Fair. And this year we could have this Zygarde Master Fair, and then the Annie Mae Poke Fair, Annie Raihan Poke Fair, Annie Skyla Poke Fair, right? So that could definitely be pretty interesting to see if they mirror that. So anyways, that's me on this one. I guess hope you all enjoyed, guys. Think in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel for some more Pokemon Masters content. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one then.